Hi, welcome to Feet First. I'm really excited to have you here tonight. If you tuned in a few minutes ago and you're wondering why you're tuning in again, it's because I had some technical difficulties, so I'm starting over. Welcome. My name is Heather Kaiser. I'm one of the leaders in the hall as well, and tonight I am teaching a class called Feet First. This class is based on a new book that just came out by one of our uplines called Barefoot and Spoiled, Do It Yourself, Feet First. And the whole point of this book is to teach lay people, not medical practitioners, not reflexologists, not aromatherapists, not trained licensed professionals, how to use our feet as a way to support the various systems in our body. So this book covers 9 different body systems, and we're going to go through all of those tonight, and we're going to learn kind of some tricks on where to put things on our feet and what to put on our feet without getting into the really nitty-gritty details, which you're more than welcome to do, but this book is for us, for the lay people. So one of the things I did is I made, this is a hard-boiled egg, like a deviled egg tray, and I pre-made all of my oils for the 9 systems that I'm going to cover tonight, which I'm really excited about. And so as I walk them through, I'm going to be applying them to my feet. So you'll actually see where I'm going to apply these. But before we get into those details, I want to cover sort of why the feet. And I'm going to be following the book because I really want to be true to the message in the book. So reflexology, massage, aromatherapy, they're all based on the fact that the pores of our feet are the largest of our body. And so they easily can absorb the molecules of the plant from the essential oils. So our feet are a great place to absorb. What's interesting is the book talks about how it's a great way to start when children are in infant stage. The feet is one of the safest places for them to receive oils. It's also a really great, safe way to apply oils when people are at their end of life stages. And what's really interesting is when I started using Young Living aromatherapy, I was pretty much in that same spot. I was taking care of my dad as he was in hospice, and I was pregnant and eventually taking care of a newborn son, and Feet First is where I went. So there's a couple of different methodologies that I will tell you about, but that's not necessarily what we're going to cover. There's something called reflexology, which is the actual practice of touching specific points on the bottom of your feet, and they relate to a specific organ or a specific system in the human body. This is a scientific kind of mapped out thing that people become certified in order to help support different systems. Then there is the raindrop, which is a series of strokes and specific essential oils that actually stimulate the central nervous system along the spine of the feet. Then there's something called the VitaFlex, which is a method of rolling your fingertips, and I don't know if this is right, so just pretend. Rolling your fingertips to trigger an electrical impulse. And then there's just aromatherapy, which is using essential oils in a highly concentrated way in a safe spot on the bottom of your feet for maximum absorption. So that's kind of the background of why people use oils on their feet for mind, body, and spirit. And it's been around for 7,000 years. It started as an ancient Chinese and Egyptian tradition, but then it became really popular in the early 1900s by an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and has kind of continued to evolve and become a good, trusted practice of medicine. So what this book does for us lay people is it goes through 9 systems. We're going through all 9 tonight, so this will be a little bit longer of a class. And it actually shows you, it gives you examples of where it should go on the foot. This one, it can go on any of the whole foot versus in a page coming up, you see those little dots? Kind of helps you. So it's connect the dots. And then it gives you examples of oils to use. So if you are just tuning in, I actually pre-mixed my oils using my deviled egg maker. And we're going to get started with emotional connections. So that's the first of the 9 we're covering tonight. I don't know how many times I've said this. We're covering 9 systems tonight for whole body wellness. The first, emotional connection. our body, when it touch sends messages to our entire body. It's how we feel pain, it's how we feel joy, it's how we feel love and connection. And so when we put oil on the bottom of our feet, it reaches our cellular level and begins to influence our body, mind, and spirit at a high frequency, at a quicker rate. So putting it in your body means that you're going to be absorbing it faster. So the emotional connection oil I chose tonight is Peace and Calming. And so I'm just going to put Peace and Calming all over the bottom of one of my feet. So what I love about this book is you don't have to be like, oh, do I need to put it in between here? Or, this book doesn't really care about the specifics. There are people who do, and it's fantastic work. And this book is for us lay people. So putting Peace and Calming on the bottom of my entire foot is telling all 9 systems that I need to be peaceful and calm and relaxed. It's telling all of my systems to get balanced. So that's what I specifically love about that emotional connection. Next, number 2, circulatory system. So the main part of the circulatory system is the heart, blood, lungs, and blood vessel. The heart is the key organ of this and is categorically referenced as the cardiovascular system. So the primary function of our circulatory system is to transport material. It's supposed to remove the bad stuff, remove the waste, remove the toxins, remove things that don't belong there, and help flow the things that are good there. So we want a lot of oxygen in our blood, and we want to do things that help support good circulation. So circulatory system, oils that support the circulatory system are oils that help with the oxygenation. And since plants, which are the essence of our essential oils, are basically the blood that circulates the roots, the stems, the leaves, the flowers, we're trying to emulate that in our lives. So the circulatory system blend that I chose tonight is lavender, rosemary, and vetiver. It's one of the recipes that's in this book. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that, and it says that for this we can just basically put it all over the bottom of our foot. It doesn't give us specific points. It's just telling us, let's put it at the bottom of our foot. So I am using the Young Living V6 oil as my source of kind of moving the oil along. So rather than just putting drops of oil straight on my feet, I'm using this as a massage oil to kind of help spread the oil. It also feels really good, and it dries really fast. So that's one of the reasons I like the V6 oil. I actually use it as lotion because I don't find it to leave, I don't find that it leaves things oily. So next, so we've covered the emotional system, our circulatory system, and now lymphatic system. What is the lymphatic system? Good thing the book tells us. The lymphatic system is an extension of the circulatory system. So it's really about flowing and helping support our blood flow. The lymph comes from the plasma that is seeped out of our blood system. And the lymphs are a filter for foreign particles, and it's critical to the immune system. Critical. So if they're going to be filtering the bad, the bacteria, the viruses, the mold, the fungus, the pollen, we want to make sure that that filter is well built and well supported. So it's really important that we give our lymphatic system that great support. What I'm going to use for my lymphatic recipe today is cedarwood, grapefruit, and clary sage. Those 3 oils should be in your regular repertoire anyway. I use cedarroot on my scalp. I use grapefruit in my water. It's a really great way for me to eat less and be refreshed throughout the day. And clary sage, someone once told me that every woman should apply clary sage to her abdomen every day. So ever since I heard a pharmacist tell me that, I've never stopped. So the lymphatic system actually shows a specific spot of where they are. So it's on the top of the feet. So if you can see in that diagram, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply, so you see the diagram. Let's see if I can do this. Diagram, and then I'm going to apply that blend to my feet the same way. Super simple. And the reason why in this case I'm actually going to apply it to the specific spots that they say is because we can feel swelling and tenderness in our lymph nodes when they're not working properly, and we want to be able to filter out those toxins. So these spots on the bottom of the toes are where the lymphatic system is best supported. Okay, number 4, the digestive system. Oh my gosh, who doesn't need better digestion? Here's what I learned about in this book, which is why I love the opportunity to read. I didn't know, okay, so I knew that the digestive function of our body is to turn nutrients into food. Like that's what digestion does. But what I didn't know was that a healthy digestive system actually gives you brain power. What? I just thought it made me not have gas. So 80% of our immune system is based on our digestive health. So basically what I'm learning from this book is that if I want to think clearly, if I want to feel better, I need to be working on my digestive system. Newsflash. So the handy dandy oil that I am using tonight is Digest. So if you've just tuned in, this is my deviled egg maker plate, and all 9 of the oils that I have going to be using for the 9 systems we're covering are in these different ones. So today is we're on number 4, the digestive system. So you'll notice from this, they actually recommend that the digestive system have these kind of dots kind of on the bait, or on the, what do they call that? This part. I don't remember what this part is called. So that's where I'm going to put the Digest. Let's see, this one was the Digest. So I'm just gonna kind of go around there. And the digestive reflex points can actually help reduce stress, which gives you even better benefits. So I am hopefully using this to help support my liver, my gallbladder, my pancreas, my kidney, my bladder, my colon, my anus. Everything should be flowing smoother because I'm applying it to those specific points. That's why I love this book. It's so simple. I don't have to memorize a big map. Number 5, endocrine system. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Again, if you've just tuned in, I'm not an aromatherapist. I'm going through a book about do-it-yourself feet for the general public. And what it does is it teaches you how to put oils on your feet using these really cool diagrams and then really simple recipes. So I'm on number 5 of 9 systems, the endocrine system. So the endocrine system is also called the glandular system, and it's our glands are clusters of cells that release chemicals. They're in charge of moving chemicals and hormones, right? So the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, ovaries, pancreas, glands that all respond to our stimuli, good and bad. So hormones, hormones control the overall growth and development of our body. It helps with our metabolism. It helps with our tissue function, sexual function, reproduction, sleep, emotions, everything, right? Hormones, when we're out of balance, when our hormones are out of balance, man, do we feel it. And usually we can't necessarily identify it. Sometimes some women can identify when they feel their hormones really drop and change once a month. Sometimes they're all over the place. What I love about this is that it says that the glandular system is so intimately connected with our brains and our hormones that when there's an imbalance, it affects our mood and it completely can distress us. Okay, so let's figure out how to balance our hormones so that we can have less distress on our system. So they have some really great examples here. The one I'm going to do is a mix of lavender, clary sage, and geranium. Again, those are 3 oils that I recommend most people have in their just general blend. And you'll note that it's telling me to put it on, let's see which book I use. I'll use this one. It's telling me to use that from here and to just kind of go down. Well, that's pretty simple. I can do that. So as I'm doing that, I'm going to read a little bit more about the endocrine system. It says that the glands are stimulated by nervous system and chemical receptors in the blood. And it's likely to influence our smell and has a strong influence on other parts of our bodies. This book is fascinating. Next, number 6, eyes and ears. So the eyes and ears are part of our sensory system, obviously. If you've ever had hearing loss and you feel like you can't balance, it's because it's all connected. But what I think is really interesting about eyes and ears is that what this book talks about is that it also is affected when we're emotionally blocked. Our eyes and ears may be part of the cause, and sometimes people don't even think of that. Our eyes and ears are so important for a million different things. Of course, this time of the year, it's about sinuses and respiratory health. We want to get rid of kind of the airborne irritants and feel better. So for the eyes and ears today, I picked RC. And let's see. Yeah, okay, this one's RC. So what it says for the eyes and ears is it says to put them at the bottom of your toes here. It's hard to do this. There we go. So I'm putting the RC at the bottom, the base of these toes. And that is going to give me, so you're like, well, if you need some respiratory, why would you put it at the bottom of your feet, Heather? Because according to this, since our feet are the fastest way to absorb oils, that's a way to get it into our system in a direct, fast route. It's also really helpful for like babies or my toddler, because I don't want him like touching his nose and eating the oil, or people who don't like I don't love the smell of dye, so man, I don't mind putting it on my feet. Okay, musculoskeletal and nervous system. Now, for simplifications, they put them in the same category in the book. The muscles are cool, and the heat in the body are almost half of our weight of the entire bone structure. So we need to be supporting our muscle system. And the nervous system, that's where the brain carries all of its functions. So we need to be supporting the nervous system for our brain and the musculoskeletal system for our muscles and bones. So one of the ways they talk about how important this is that when you feel pain, it's a signal from your nervous system. It's like, hey, I'm alerting you, something's not right. I have pain, there's something that needs to be fixed. That actually gives us a chance to seek treatment, to seek medical care, to seek aromatherapy, to do something different. So it's your body actually protecting and alerting itself. So tonight, what I'm doing is a recipe in the book, which is copaiba, cypress, and balsam fir. So you'll notice that it goes down the inside of the foot and then all the way to the heel. So I'm just kind of going up and down to the heel. So what's really cool is you can have other people do this on you, or you can do this on others. I thought about doing it with my 2.5-year-old son, but because he loves, we do feet on his oils every night. He actually will say, Mommy, it's feet oil, feet oil. So when your 2.5-year-old kid is requesting feet oil, you know that it's at least making him feel good. So try this on with your friend. Order the book and do it with your friends. Okay, 8, respiratory system. The respiratory system brings oxygen into our body and it removes carbon dioxide. This gives us a chance to really recharge. So any decrease in oxygen helps or makes all of our other body functions just off. So we really need to have a healthy respiratory system, not just for the cold winter months, but year round. We need to be oxygenating our blood, putting more oxygen in our body, getting our body energized and fueled and ready for life. So it says essential oils are all oxygenating. So there's really no downside to using them. Applying them to your feet, which I'm going to do with RC, which is this one. I'm going to do it with RC. And you'll notice from here, it's hard to see because of the color. They have you applying it on the tips of all of the toes and then down through the base. So it's kind of this little circle. And what it says about that is that essential oils, when you apply them to the feet, will get them to the cells, which travel through the blood and will reach your lungs, even if you don't like the smell and don't want to take them internally. So that's another great reason to be using these on your feet. All right, and last but not least, the skin. Yay! So I'm actually going to bare some skin for this one. So the skin is our largest organ, right? I mean, it covers our entire body, and it's meant to protect. It's meant to be a way for us to shield from the Earth's environment, but it's also highly porous. It absorbs a lot from the environment. So it's protecting us, but it's still obviously taking a lot from the Earth and the Earth's environment. So we can access any injury or expression from inflammation without necessarily touching it from the bottom of your feet. So imagine you have a sore shoulder and it's too sore to touch. There's actually a spot on the bottom of your foot that might help ease that pain. So ease that occasional discomfort. So touching the area of the body on your foot without physically touching it. That's the idea of using the feet on your skin. So tonight I'm using something for the sensitive blend, and it's got lavender, chamomile, helichrysum, and copaiba. So I'm going to, it doesn't necessarily tell me where, it just says this can go on the whole bottom of the foot. So I'm actually going to just grab it and do it on the bottom of both of my feet. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This was kind of some higher level stuff that we don't always typically cover here. The science behind oils in the feet is centuries old. I hope that you're willing to maybe try some of this on yourself or on others, perhaps the young ones in your life or the old ones in your life or the one you're sleeping next to tonight. Wouldn't it be great to offer them a nice foot rub before bed and perhaps give them one of the best sleeps of their life? Thanks for tuning in with me. I hope you enjoyed our Feet First. Stay tuned later this week for some more educational information. Have a good night.